Right, good afternoon or evening, everyone. We're the Pueblo of Zia Education Department. I have Daniel Lynn Pino and Giselle Montoya with me, and of course, I'm Jonathan Pino. We're going to be reviewing 10 Native movies. This was based off a list I found that one of my friends shared on my Facebook. So, at random, there are 10 movies that we're going to discuss. The list actually has a total of 111 movies. Um, when we were putting this together, one person actually commented that they didn't know that there were that many movies out there that were Native movies. These go back all the way into the 60s up until recently with 2019, possibly movies released also this year. Um, so there's a pretty long amount of movies that have come out. Some of them can be termed problematic just because of the way they feature natives or the way that they're discussed or portrayed. Um, Others are really positive and happy-go-lucky movies, kind of like what you see in Smoke Signals, where they're more of a comedy kind of thing. Yeah, DJ's pointing at her background. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The questions we have for each of us today are, have we seen this movie? If we have not seen this movie, have we heard about it before? And would it be something you would watch? If we have seen the movie, what is our opinion of the movie? What themes did we see? And would we recommend this movie? So I'm going to hit my little random generator number. I'm going to start with movie number 45 on our list, which let me find it, is Black Robe. It's rated R from 1991. Let me zoom in on it. So it's in the 17th century, a Jesuit missionary nicknamed Black Robe by the natives and his small party of companions try reaching the Huron tribe in Canada, all while facing mistrust, Iroquois warring parties, and harsh winter conditions. It's considered a drama, history, and a war movie. It features Lothair Bloteau, Aidan Young, and Sandrine Holt. So going first, I have not seen this movie. It actually doesn't sound like a movie I would watch based off of that description, just because I'm not really into maybe more or less like the historical Western type of movies at times. So not something I would watch. How about you, DJ?
I personally have not seen this movie. I wouldn't even just like I wouldn't even know. I'm just like probably won't interest me. Just I guess the name, the title. So um yeah.
DJ or Giselle?
I have not seen the movie or even heard of it. I most likely probably won't watch it either.
All right, so it's all across the board, not an interest. All right, so moving on, number 4, um, which is Every Emotion Costs. It's not rated. One of the things when I was looking through this list is a lot of them are considered independent films, so a lot of them are not rated. But this movie, Every Emotion Costs, was released in 2010. It is a drama, and it's an exploration of the reality of returning home on the reserve to face family, community, and death. We follow Quilla and her sister June as they return to bury their mentally ill mother. They were abandoned by their mother 16 years ago and haven't returned home for over 7 years. From medications to love, addiction, revels in the characters' lives, edifying their own personal rituals, pain, lust, and disappointment. All this leads them through ceremony. It is family that helps Quilla and June to find their true calling in life. It features Nathaniel Arkand, Tantu Cardinal, and Adam Garcia. Anyone want to give their opinion first?
I
Giselle?
guess I will. I haven't seen the movie, but it definitely does have an interesting topic, especially it sounds like a coming of age story, right? Where they find their connectiveness to their community and all of that. So I definitely probably would watch it, but I haven't heard of it.
Okay. I probably would too. It sounds like something I would watch. Tantu Cardinal, I don't know what other movies she's been in, but I know she's been in several Native movies. So I might watch it just because of that. There's certain Natives that I think I do tend to follow based off of work that I've seen from them. How about you, DJ?
I haven't seen the movie. I didn't even know there was a movie out like this, or even just, But what catches me is the title, Every Emotion Costs. So I'm just thinking, oh, emotions. I'm a bit of um, a drama lady, likes to watch the drama and the comedy, certain stuff. I feel like it's, would be something I'd be crying at the end of the movie. So
Yeah.
I definitely probably watch that.
Okay. So I think that's a movie we all said we will watch, right?
Yes.
Adding it to my list now.
Okay. So the next one is number 105. Taking a little different course. It's actually a comedy. I think the last two we reviewed were more dramas. Um, but this does not have a rating as far as I could tell. It was released in 2008. Um, it actually has some names that I think we'll recognize. Ernest David Sosi III, which is one half of James and Ernie.
Mhm.
Vincent Craig, and also James Belligotti. So in the small town of Blue Gap, Arizona, on the Navajo reservation, there lives three brothers known as James, Jesse, and Jody, and that's all I think I was able to find. But it is a comedy. Can't remember exactly what the other details were for the narrative, but I guess we'll be basing this on maybe the actors. I mean, would it be something you would be interested in watching Vincent Craig act instead of singing about a candy bar? DJ?
I definitely would. I know the only reason why I said I would watch it is because I know most of um, the crew. So I'm like, oh yeah, knowing that these certain crew members. I haven't watched it, haven't heard of it myself. So yeah, I'd be interested.
Okay. And I would watch it too, just based off of who's in it. And then knowing it's a comedy, knowing that Natives produce some definitely different kind of perspective when it comes to the comedic nature of films, I would definitely watch it too.
What number was that, John? Sorry.
I have it as 105 Blue Gap Boys.
Oh, okay.
How about you, Giselle?
I haven't seen it, but I love comedies, so I would definitely watch it.
Mhm.
Okay, next is number 98, The Exiles. It doesn't have a rating from 1961. Follows a family of Native Americans living in the city of Los Angeles. It's a drama, and the two actors I have listed are Yvonne Williams and a Homer Nish, also Tom Reynolds. This one, I'm not too sure. I think I would want to know a little bit more based off of what I was able to find.
I
Um,
feel the same way. Just I don't know. Well, I guess I shouldn't say that. Sometimes the year just like throws me off, like if it's 1961 way back. So maybe not for myself.
yeah. How about you, Giselle?
Um, am I saying yes to every movie? I think I said one no. I think I would watch it just because it sounds like a mystery case. I enjoy those movies too. Um, But yes, I'll definitely watch it.
Okay. Is anyone keeping track of how many movies we're watching or not watching?
I think we're on 4.
Okay, we've done 4. 60s. Okay, next one is 67. Naturally Native. It is PG-13, released in 1998. A drama, and the summary is 3 Native American sisters decide to try to sell a line of cosmetics they call naturally native based on old tribal remedies, only to have to fight an uphill battle with racist business people. The film is actually Red Horse's comment on her fight with the movie industry to get her films made, and this film is the first to be totally financed by an Indian tribe, Connecticut's Mashantucket tribe. So it has Valerie Red Horse, who I believe from the summary also either directed or produced the movie. We also have Yvonne Russo and Irene Bedard. It sounds like something I would watch, um, just because it's kind of that fight against the status quo, and I think there's still a lot of Native representation that's lacking in terms of movies and kind of just our media that's out there. So it would be something I would definitely support. It was released in 1998, so it's probably like a little dated as far as like what kind of cosmetics are out there, what they're talking about. But yeah, I would watch it, but I haven't yet. So Giselle or
DJ's
DJ?
thinking. I'll go. I haven't I haven't watched it. And I don't know. I'm not sure if I'll watch it, if I'll add it to my list. I think that's one I'll probably say a no to.
I don't know, just the little things that I picked up, like didn't just say something. What number is it? Like the rate?
67, naturally native.
Um, when you're talking about racist, just certain things, certain words capture my thoughts, and I'm like, just try to like how does it like is that word like racist, like is it really about racist? How does it and what are the words I'm trying to say? How does it oh God, what did I say, guys? How does it um, pertain to our life right now? So I guess just those little words, but like how we say, don't judge a book by its cover. So I don't know. Maybe I think I would. I think I would.
Hey, scramble a good one, John. Give us one that we watched.
I know my can smoke signals come up or something.
There's so many.
And I actually went through this list. I counted. There's actually quite a few that I watched, but none of them are popping up as far as this. So next one is 95. Teata, something I haven't watched yet again. PG 2016 was the release date. So Teata sets her sights on Broadway and what she thought was her life's dream. Audition after audition, she was rejected and began to wonder if she was cut out for the bright lights. This is a biography, a drama, and a history. The top billed actors are Kirianka Kitcher, Gil Birmingham, and Bridget Bernal. It's actually one that I have heard of before. I haven't watched it yet, but it was on my watch. It's been on my watch list for a while now. But just one of the ones that I haven't made it to. Another thing that I noticed with a lot of these movies is since they're independent, they don't get the big screening premiere. It's pretty much rare that you'll be able to see a Native movie in a theater. So a lot of these I've seen either by outright purchasing the DVD or having it lent to me. But Teata, I think, is streaming. I'm not too sure. Kind of have to look at it. So, but yeah, it's one that I would watch. DJ Giselle.
I'll go. I haven't seen the movie, and I actually haven't heard of it either, but I think I'll definitely watch it. Does seem interesting to see a native, especially you don't hear natives going into that aspect, and especially into Broadway. And I think that's a huge accomplishment in its own. So I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, and if I remember from the previews, I think she was a ballet dancer or something like that.
Nice.
So it's definitely one of those more, I think, areas where we don't see a lot of natives, but definitely we know they're out there. We know that there are natives who excel in a lot of different things. It's just rare that we ever get to find out about them or hear about them, especially when they're not from our own tribes.
Yeah.
For me, I think I would watch it. It just sounds really interesting. Like you said, those Native Americans, you don't really see, going, on Broadway or, even just what they consider the bright lights. I consider bright lights like when I'm thinking of like the city or like way up, it's a big city. That's what I, picture the bright lights as. So I definitely will see it. I have not seen it and actually not even heard of this. So first for me.
Okay. So I pre-generated a number. This one actually, I think when we were putting this list, or we were talking about this list, was one that we kind of discussed at length because it is a pretty popular movie. Although I have to actually admit I haven't actually watched it in its entirety. I think I've caught different bits and pieces of it when it has been on TV, um, or have heard about it from other friends. So it feels like I've watched it, but I actually haven't. And that movie is actually number 24 on our list. Once Were Warriors, rated R. It was released in 1994. It is more or less an indigenous movie since it comes from New Zealand. So the summary is a family descended from Maori warriors is bedeviled by a violent father and the societal problems of being treated as outcasts. The actors are Rena Owen, Tamara Morrison, and Mama Ngaro Kerbel. Those names are hard to pronounce for me, so sorry.
Yeah, the Mari. I can honestly, I've seen this movie. I love it. I recommend it to whoever. I mean, you're gonna see. It's really emotion. It's an emotional, good, sad things that happen on there. Um, a lot of issues that Native Americans face, not within just their area. It's hit back home too. So um, with suicide, alcohol, everything that comes with the territory. So I recommend it. I've seen it. I love it. But very very emotional to the point where I did cry. So it wasn't my fault. Good movie.
Get your popcorn. I actually have not seen it, and I haven't even heard of it, so I feel bad for not even hearing of it. I even cheated. I looked it up, but and even seen the picture. I've never heard of it, seen it, or anything. So, but based on DJ's recommendation,
Oh
I
yes,
think I'll definitely add that to my list.
yes.
Cool.
The only reason why the only reason why I had the chance to see it was I was actually on a school board training in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. That's where they were showing that one night, and everybody was going to go out and, see the town and everything. And this was showing there. And so there was only a few people in there, but I was so glad I stayed and I got to watch this movie. So.
On a bonus note, there is actually a Once Were Warriors 2. It's called What
Oh.
Becomes of the Brokenhearted.
Oh,
So I haven't seen that one, but it's on the list somewhere, but not part of our count. But just wanted to throw that in there that some of these movies do have sequels. And even though one gets like that big critical acclaim, we don't often hear about maybe the second one that another person produces. So next movie is number 85. Its expiration date. It doesn't have a rating. It was released in 2006. The summary is Charlie Silvercloud III carries around a family curse passed down from his grandfather, death by a milk truck, on his 25th birthday. With 8 days left, Charlie accepts his fate and starts taking care of his unfinished business, like watering his plants or returning his library books, and so on. But while he's out casket hunting, he meets a girl who just won't let him die in peace. It is considered a comedy and a romance. The actors are Robert A. Guthrie, Sasha Noff, and Dee Wallace. It actually is a movie I watched. When I first saw this movie, it kind of intrigued, or the list, it intrigued me. So I don't know if that counts as me cheating, but I did watch it recently. It's a little awkward to watch because it definitely has that independent kind of feel to it. There are some pretty funny scenes. There is, I think one of my favorite parts was actually not any of the human actors, but a dog that they have. Just the way that dog acts and the way they film it. It's some of the best, I think, like time scenes that they could have produced with that dog. And the dog just also happens to be named Roadkill. Um,
What?
yeah, they have a dog named Roadkill in a movie about a guy who's running away from milk trucks because his father and his grandfather died. I'm getting hit by trucks. So it's kind of that like twisted kind of comedy. I definitely recommend it. I did find it on Vimeo for a $3 rental. So it's a digital rental. You can also purchase it digitally. Um, Before this list, I had not heard of it. It kind of sounded familiar, but I don't remember actually really hearing about it. But definitely, it's something I would watch again and would recommend.
I personally haven't heard of it, but when someone says watch this movie or it's really good, and I'm like, yeah, 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 I want to be the, I want to read this movie, I want to see if it was good, I want to see. I'll be like, yeah, yeah, okay, and then a day I'm like, yeah, it's okay, but just because
And
of
that's
what
when my
John
heart will break when you say, "Oh, it's all right." And you're like, "Oh, but
No.
But just because of what John had told me, I mentioned was, all everything that I listened to is, if you put comedy and romance in one movie, in a movie, I'm like, I'm there. Like, so just the genre of being a comedy romance, and it seems like it's a newer move or release, 2016. I say I I I would like to watch it.
okay." Um, and then just to add on, I did look at some of the like reviews for it, trying to figure out like if it really was a native movie, because some of these are kind of questionable. Um, Aside from the characters, the main character's name being Silver Cloud, there's actually not a like native stuff in it. Um, Probably has a lot to do with them actually living off reservation. And that's part of the actual storyline where the grandfather moves off the reservation, and that's when this curse like starts with him, and the grandfather of course dies at 25 like you said. But that was one of the critiques, but it's also something that I don't know if you're not native, if you'll pick up on things like that, where sometimes when you're urban native, you don't really bring that culture with you, or it's not something that is as a part of your life as like when someone lives on the reservation 24/7. But let's hear from Giselle. Have you seen this movie?
Well, you had me at puppy. I have not seen it. I have not heard of it. But I am a hopeless romantic and I love comedy, so I definitely want to watch. But you can tell just from the description, the way the dog plays a huge role. It's not typically something we hear about dogs on the res. We call them res dogs, and they're usually don't have a huge role unless otherwise, but I think I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, it's funny though because the producer or the production company is also called Roadkill. So I don't know if that's like a nod to the producer or anything, but it is what it is. I just picked up on the usage of the dog. That was really funny to me. So next one is 98. Actually, I think we just reviewed that one. We did the Exiles, right? Okay, so that one's a repeat. Do 110. Song of Hiawatha. It is a PG 1997. The legendary Ojibwa chief is sent by the Great Spirit to lead his people. It is considered a adventure and a drama. It features Graham Greene, Lightfoot, and Irene Bedard. So that's when I talk about like the natives who are in a lot of movies. Those are kind of like your top three. Graham Greene was, of course, in Dances with Wolves. I believe so was Irene Bedard, and Lightfoot was in another movie called Indian in the Cupboard, which made the list but hasn't come up on ours yet. So I have not seen this. Not too sure if I would watch it, but it might be something I would maybe come across eventually.
I agree. It doesn't really like interest me. Maybe we had more. Like you said, John, I think I eventually come across it just by, how you were saying the great spirit to lead his people, we're always talking about spirits and our ancestors that pass and on and on. So eventually, sometime, whenever I get time.
How about you, Giselle?
I haven't seen the movie or heard of it. I'm actually excited because I know the actors finally. So I think I would watch it, and just looking up like what pops up for it, it is from a poem. So I think that's definitely something. I'm the book reader, not a movie watcher, so I'll probably read before I watch. But definitely I'll watch it sometime. I'll add it to my list.
Cool. So next one is number 56. This is called Real Engine. It's not rated. It was released in 2009. It's considered a documentary and a western. Um, Adam Beach, Chris Eyre, and Russell Means. The summary is the history of the depiction of Native Americans in Hollywood films. So this one is actually something I've heard before. It's been on my watch list, but it's not something I've gotten around to actually watching yet. Um, it's also kind of one of those that I would watch just because it's a documentary. For some reason, I like a lot of documentary type of movies, but don't really get a chance to watch a lot of them. So I actually took a class when I was at UNM, and it was on the history of natives in media. And I can't remember if we did watch it or not. So I'm going to say we didn't, just because I don't remember exactly. I know we watched something, but I don't remember it was that. Um, So maybe I did watch it, maybe I didn't. It might have left an impression, so I don't know um, if it would be something I could recommend. DJ or Giselle?
I personally have not watched it. I think I've heard of it. I'm not too sure. Maybe just that word Indian. I don't know. Yeah, the one, but um, I like John, like yourself. I love documentaries, so I'm more into the documentary thing. I personally would watch it.
Giselle?
So I haven't heard of it and so haven't watched it, but I think definitely I will, especially it being a documentary. And then also speaking to our whole context of what we're doing today is the portrayal of natives and the History Month, and I think that's definitely something interesting because we're usually um, depicted as one character, especially uh, more so like back then natives, not like today. So I think definitely if I think it'll probably touch on those subjects and I will definitely add it to my list.
Cool. Is that our 10 or should we do one more?
Yeah, I have down 10.
Okay. So I
Do a
think we
good
were
one we watch.
one.
Just kidding.
Let's discuss smoke signals. Okay, should we do a bonus 86?
Bonus round.
Bonus round for 86. It's called Boy. There's no rating. I didn't find a release date. Um, it's considered a comedy, a drama. James Rollison, Te Aho, and Ekata Ritu, and Taika Waititi. So it sounds like it's from New Zealand, and by the summer, yes, it actually is. So it's set on the east coast of New Zealand in 1984. Boy, an 11-year-old child, and devout Michael Jackson fan, gets a chance to know his absentee criminal father who has returned to find a bag of money he buried years ago. Um, it sounds like something I would watch based on the description saying it's a comedy drama, but it sounds like a little darker kind of theme. So maybe it would be something I would watch.
I
DJ
think
and
just for
Giselle.
I think just for me, the word you said it was New Zealand, right?
Yeah.
I love learning about the New Zealand Maori tribe, just that. So already that just kind of interests me. So I haven't heard of it, haven't seen it, so I definitely would like to watch
So I haven't seen it or I've never heard of it. And I don't know. I don't know if I would watch it.
Okay. So that brings us to our total of actually 11 movies that we reviewed. Again, we'll post this list on our Facebook and hopefully we can find a way to post it on our YouTube. Hopefully, those of you who are watching got some inspiration. We know we're all stuck at home quite a bit more than we would like to, and especially with the holidays coming up, maybe you want something different to watch. Like I said, a lot of these movies can be hard to find, but you can. I think I found one on like YouTube that was for free. Um, Others you might have to either look at Netflix or other different kind of avenues to either watch these. Maybe you know someone who has a copy of Smoke Signals and you haven't seen that, so you want to watch it. But with that, that's our list. Hope you guys enjoyed watching our review of a list of native movies. Again, there were 111 movies that we found on this list, and hopefully you get a chance to watch some. So with that, see everyone when I see you.
Take care.